It's Naruto tier list time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! Yes, your series. As you guys know, Naruto is one of the greatest anime of all time. It has absolutely everything you want in an anime, such as the countless number amounts of fillers, the good old time no jutsu, shadow clones, and a whole bunch of datebayo. What more can you ask for? And most importantly, the fights. So I tasked myself to create a Naruto tier list. And as you guys know, my opinion over everything, so you already know that this tier list is gonna be 100% legit, nothing but facts, and completely accurate. Nah, but on the real, this is my opinion. So if you guys disagree, that's completely fine. Let me know down below how you would rank these fights and any changes you would make to this tier list and why, because I really want to know, so feel free to drop it down below. This is part 1 of a Naruto tier list, so I was planning on doing 3 separate parts. The first part for OG Naruto, second part for Naruto Shippuden, third part for Boruto. If you guys want to see those tier lists, let me know down below. And without further ado, Naruto fights tier list. Let's go. All right, let's go. So starting off here, we have Hinata versus Neji. This was during the tuning exams. They were both going at it at first, but Neji absolutely destroyed her towards the end and ended up almost killing her, but luckily the instructors came in last second and stopped him. So overall, I would have to say I'm between B and C. But if I take a look at the rest of the fights that I'm judging, I would have to put this one here for now. But if my mind changes, I'll definitely move it up to B. But for now, it's gonna be here at C. Up next, we have Kiba versus Naruto. Also during the tuning exams, my boy Naruto hit Kiba with the pink eye special, as I like to call it. He just straight up farted in his face. Not, but like the fight itself, it had a lot of strategy from Naruto's part at least. My man was out here doing shadow clones and then disguising those shadow clones with a substitution jutsu. And the substitution jutsu was Kiba's dog Akamaru. What a genius. He made Kiba punch his own dog and essentially knock it out. So that was crazy. For this one, I am also between B and C. But just because there was a little bit more strategy and it was a lot more even and also a longer fight, I'm gonna go with B tier for now. Next up, we don't even have to talk about this one. Straight into fucking S tier, baby. Gaara versus Rock Lee. That's an iconic ass fight. Arguably the best fight in all of Naruto Part 1. For me, it's not, but for most, I guarantee you that one's like the number 1. It's definitely S tier though. Definitely, without a doubt. What an iconic ass moment that is when Rock Lee just takes the weights out, drops in, and boom, creates a big ass explosion. That's crazy. So you know, them bitches were heavy as hell. What makes the fight even better is that at this point, Gaara, the way that he was being portrayed as, and just the episodes leading up to this fight, he was like seen as a unstoppable demon that nobody wants to mess with. Nobody wants a part of him. But the boy Rock Lee, he came through with the fucking hands. He didn't care about that, you know? That's why I fuck with Rock Lee. At least in Naruto, because in Shippuden, well, we won't talk about that. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, this fight right here, S tier, definitely. Next up, yet another good ass fight. Neji versus Naruto. Fuck, this one's good too. I think for this one, I gotta go A. I feel like a lot of people either like this fight like a lot like me or they hate it. But number one reason why I see a lot of people not really liking this fight so much is because of the backstory behind this. Because throughout this whole fight, Naruto was giving Neji a message of your destiny is not set in stone. Like if your destiny says you're gonna be a certain way or do certain things, that's not the truth. You could carve your own path basically, right? So go against destiny. But then my man in Shippuden was destined to be the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths. So much for not believing in destiny, am I right? But regardless, for me, and this is my tier list, putting that aside, for me, this fight is so cool. The boy Neji is just beating Naruto's ass at first, like absolutely destroying him. My boy Naruto naturally taps in into the Nine Tails, and then Naruto gains the upper hand and starts beating on Neji. And then at the end, the uppercut that Naruto delivers to Neji right on the chin, that one was nasty. For those reasons, I put this in A tier. I feel like it's a perfect display of just willpower. So yeah, overall, great fight for me. Next up, we have Temari versus Shikamaru, and this one is another one that I really like. Many of you probably will think it's mid, but I really enjoyed this one. Mainly because the level of strategy that Shikamaru implemented for this fight is at that time was stellar. I couldn't believe the level of tactician he was for this age, you know, as a genin. That was crazy to me. I love the fact that Shikamaru used the most of his surroundings. Even though there wasn't many trees like around the area, it was very open. But regardless, he used his kunai as a little parachute to create a shadow, in which then he cast it through a hole that was already there from the previous battle and managed to get to Mari that way. That was insane. Big brain play. So for that reason, I'll be putting it in B tier. This is the time where Sasuke comes in late. He learns a Chidori from Kakashi. and essentially just tries to get ahead of him. And to be fair, he was really fast at first. He was like almost Rock Lee type of speed. There wasn't too much fighting though. It was mostly Sasuke trying to get into Gaara's defense, but he was unable to until he pulled up with the Chidori. You know, he climbed the wall. That scene is dope though. I'll give it that. That scene is cold. When he goes to the wall with the Chidori, just loads it up and attacks. That was badass. And then he did manage to cut up Gaara, but in the end, the invasion of the leaf happened, so this match got cut off early. So I don't know, it's tough because not much happened. So, but the Chidori though, that's the thing. I'm between A and B. C? No, not C. Is it better than? No, because these two went at it and it was pretty even. Now I'm gonna go here for now. B for now. In the end, I'll reshuffle things around if I see that some things are like not where they're supposed to be. Sarutobi versus Orochimaru. Damn, that fight. That's probably the longest standoff of all time. You know, when they're grabbing each other with the Reaper Death Seal, with the sword and everything. I think that deadass took like a good 9 episodes, bro. But besides that, it was a great fight. You know, we got to see the reanimation jutsu used for the first time. And we also saw Hashirama and Tobirama for the first time in action. We saw some of their jutsus. Sarutobi doing pretty well against them, using the Reaper Death Seal, which was a new jutsu at the time. Him going all in, using all elements, bro. It was crazy. The student versus teacher storyline was there. So overall, pretty solid fight. I would have to put this one in A tier because I feel like Neji, Naruto, somewhere in that level, because we saw the death of Sarutobi, man. That's a big part of the plot, so taking all of that in mind, I would have to put it in A for now. Okay, so this next fight for me is extremely underappreciated, man. This fight is arguably one of the best, and I'll tell you why. I think it's special that, you know, two characters that were usually in the back burner, in the background, not given the spotlight that they deserve. You know, it kind of sucked. So the first time we see them go head to head, and not only that, these two characters, they have backstory with each other, and at this time they hadn't really given us a Sakura or a Ino backstory. So you know, it was good to see the dilemma between them as children. It was cool. Them arguing over who was more beautiful, who liked Sasuke the most. But regardless of all that, in the end they were there for each other. Those flashbacks were just amazing. So because of those reasons, and for this fight being probably the most underrated, most underappreciated fight there is in all of Naruto, I'm gonna have to put this one in D tier. So next up we have Kankuro versus Shino. This fight, dude, I like it a lot. It's a bit mid compared to the rest, yes, but I don't know, Shino never got no spotlight like this. I think this was like the best Shino ever got from here on out. So just because of that, Shino, just because you were a cool ass character back in the day, I'm gonna have to put you right here at C tier. I would put you B, but I don't think you're at the level of these fights over here. Actually, fuck it, Shino. You get your moment. Go ahead, you get B tier. Next up, we have my personal favorite fight of all of Naruto Part 1, and that is Naruto versus Gaara. This fight had everything I can ever want for a fight. The music, the backstories, this was the start of a new friendship. Both of these characters, very similar backstories, both Jinchuriki, so they both got treated like shit. But it's more like two different sides of the spectrum. Naruto is that guy that even though he was hated, he was feared, all these bad things, he still wants to protect those people, those same people. He managed to find some friends through Kakashi, Iruka, people that cared for him, you know? So because of those things, he was able to steer down a good path. But Gaara's the complete opposite to that. Same thing as Naruto, feared, treated badly, but nobody was there for him. He had that one guy that took care of him that he thought was there for him, but in the end turned out that he wanted to kill him. And he went to kill Gaara because of Gaara's father's orders, which is crazy. And I know in Shippuden they revealed more later on that it wasn't exactly like that how it happened. But that's besides the point. My point here is that they're both very similar, but they're like opposite sides of the spectrum, if that makes any sense. The music was fire. The fact that Naruto summoned Gamabunta is one of the best things ever. Not only that, but Naruto also uses the transformation jutsu to transform as Kurama, which at the time was unbelievable. When I first seen that, I was like, what? This was the first big scale battle in all of Naruto, like big avatars, you know, fighting each other. Also, first time we see another tail beast in Shukaku, so that was pretty dope as well. The sheer magnitude of this battle is crazy, you know, you got two monsters going at it head to head. So the message, the music, the visuals, the choreography, everything about it, I love it. So for me, easy S tier. Easy. Next up, we have Naruto versus Sasuke when they fight on top of the hospital roof. Pretty good battle, you know, first time we see the Chidori versus Rasengan clash in action, but not much happened. They just scrapped for a little bit, and then Kakashi just came in through and just stopped them both. So for me, overall, it's a B or a C tier fight. I'll go for B for now. Next up, we have Naruto and Sasuke versus Haku. This fight, phenomenal as well. This fight's amazing because they both get power-ups for the first time. Sasuke activates the Sharingan for the first time, and Naruto activates his Demon Chakra. And when Naruto activates his Demon Chakra, the animation goes crazy for the first time. And the reason why that mode was activated was because he thought that Sasuke had died. So he went full-on berserk, lost it, and yeah, the way they animated this was so good. So because of those reasons, I will put this one in A tier. Next up, we have Choji versus... who the hell is that? I can't even see that. What the fuck? What is that? Oh, I think that's the sound guy. To be honest, I don't even remember what the hell happens in this fight. I think Choji goes into this little ball, charges at him, and somehow, some way, the other guy counterattacks him, and Choji loses. That's what I remember. I remember it being really fast. So because of those reasons, I'll have to put it in D tier for now. In the grand scheme of things, compared to all these fights, yeah, I think this one should sit comfortably at D tier, I mean. Next up, Choji versus the Sound 4 guy. I forgot his name, but when Choji eats the food pills and becomes skinny Choji, all powerful and everything, and the way they made it seem, they made it seem like Choji dies like at the end, which is... I hate them for that. He stepped up. He was one of the first to step up and fight one of the sound dudes. In my opinion, you guys may disagree or not, but this moment for me is Choji's best moment in the entire Naruto series, including Shippuden. I wish we would have seen more of this Choji, man, because this Choji here was badass. I'm gonna have to give this fight either a B or an A tier. That's what I'm debating, but I don't know where to put it. You know what? Since this Choji best moment, go ahead, Choji, have it. A tier. Neji versus the spider sound dude. I forgot his name, but you know the spider dude, the one that has the bow and arrow, all that good stuff, the spider webs. This fight is so good. I think this one's very underrated. My boy Neji almost lost, but he managed to pull it through right in the end. I don't know how he did it, but I think just through sheer guts, determination, and willpower, bro. Shout out to Neji because he took a lot of damage against a very difficult, tricky opponent. But yeah, overall, the fight was phenomenal. I liked it a lot, man, so I would have to put this fight either in B or A tier. I think I'm gonna have to go A tier. Shout out Neji, man. Kiba versus the guy that has two heads. You know what? The first time we saw the double-headed huge dog transformation, that was so cool. And then the way he attacks, it looks incredibly powerful, like stupid powerful. My boy Kiba putting in that work until Kankuro comes and saves him. I think it was Kankuro, right? You could also say this might be Kiba's best moment in the series, to be honest, as well. So for this one's a little bit tricky. I could see the argument for C, I could see the argument for B, and I could maybe see the argument for A. I don't think it's A, to be honest, but I think it's either B or C, but I don't know. I'm gonna put B. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Shikamaru versus the Flute Girl with the 3 Titan things. Yet again, Shikamaru using his brain in this fight, and that's how he was able to defend very dangerous attacks by the chick with the flute, because she had her 3 enormous brutes, Titan, whatever you guys want to call them, attacking for her with the notes. But my boy Shikamaru was able to deduce which finger does which no and what movement. Towards the end of this fight, they had the same thing that Sarutobi and Orochimaru had, which it was like a tug of war for like a cool 2 or 3 episodes. So I think this one I'm gonna have to either put in C or B tier. I don't know. This one's tough. For now, B tier. I'll put it in B tier. Garai and Drunk Lee versus Kimimaro. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I'm putting this bitch in S tier. Drunk Lee is one of the funniest, best things that has ever happened to the series. Period. Point blank. And when you think it couldn't get better, Gaara pulls up last minute. And the thing is, this was the first time he fought as an ally, and never in a million years did I expect Gaara to be the one to save Rock Lee here. He comes in with the new fit and everything. Oh, what a good fight this was. Kimimaro is also a very underrated, underappreciated character. His whole backstory, how he was gonna be the first vessel for Orochimaru, but since he got sick, he had to go for Sasuke instead. And then his ability and his clan with the bones, even though it's disgusting, it's unique. We haven't seen anything like that, and his design is dope. His demeanor, he's serious, quiet, great character, fighting 2 great characters as well. So hey, S tier fight. That's the recipe you need right there. Next up, Naruto versus Sasuke. I don't even have to speak on it. You guys know. Well, I don't even have to say anything. This is probably the best fight in all of Naruto Part 1. At least we can agree that this is the best animated fight. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. If you go watch that hoe right now, you'll still be impressed at how fluid it is. How they made the choreography, everything looks so good. The colors, fantastic fight still. It has aged like fine wine. Legendary battle. So yeah, easy S tier. Next up, we have Naruto and Sasuke versus Orochimaru. This for me is probably the most underrated fight in the entire series. This fight, I don't know if you guys noticed, this was the first fight where they actually changed the animation. Many think it's Gaara versus Rock Lee, but no, this was the first time where they actually changed it and they made it look so fluid and nice. I think the term is Sakuga, right? Like that fluid animation. This fight's the first one where we see choreography like that. So because of that, and just the overall feel and theme of it, because this is the first time we get introduced to Orochimaru, and he's just a creepy ass looking girl. We see Naruto saving Sasuke with one of the most badass quotes to follow up one of the most badass scenes. And then in the second half of the fight, Sasuke turns the hell up. Fireball here, fireball there, dodge, weave. It was so cool to watch. The Forest of Death is a perfect environment as well because it makes it more creepy and more sinister, more mysterious to the overall aura of this fight and Orochimaru, you know? So because of that, I'm gonna have to put this fight in A tier. Next up, we have Rock Lee versus the Sound Ninjas. Well, I guess Rock Lee, Sakura, and Sasuke, I guess. Because this is the one that ends when Sasuke tears Homeboy's arm apart. One of the most brutal scenes I have ever seen. And it's in Naruto in a kid's show, bro. Rock Lee gets busted up pretty bad during this fight because of the sound. You know, it fucked him up. Sakura didn't do much. I guess she laid her little trap, but that's it. Oh, and she cut her hair too. So overall, I don't know how to rate this battle exactly because so much happened, yet not so much happened. It's weird. The best moment by far is when Sasuke just rips that fool's arms, and it was so brutal and raw, but I don't know, I feel like not much happened. So just because of that, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now, Sabusa versus Kakashi. Straight to A tier. The Sabusa arc is damn near the best arc in all of anime. I don't care what anybody says. This is the first time we actually see Kakashi going serious, going all out. First time he also uses the Sharingan, which was pretty dope to see. First time using the dogs, and first time seeing his Chidori, so overall great fight. How he was copying that long ass dragon jutsu that Sabusa did and used it on him, so dope to watch. And then the rematch in the bridge itself, and the way Sabusa dies is one of the best deaths till this day. How he starts to break down and cry because of Naruto's words, but then he puts a kunai in his mouth and just starts slashing Gato's army, and one of the most epic scenes of the series, to be honest. So yeah, overall A tier fight, amazing stuff. Next up, we have Sasuke versus, I don't know what the hell this guy's name is, to be honest. This was the first fight to kick off the tuning exams, if I'm remembering it correctly. The first fight after the Forest of Death, and I don't even remember this fight too much. All I remember is that Sasuke uses Rock Lee's jutsu here, the one that he learned in his previous bout they had. And he also managed to suppress a curse mark during this fight somehow, some way. I know Sasuke won, but I honestly don't even remember how. So for now, I'm gonna put this one in C tier, man. Oh, and Shino versus the guy that got his arm blown off. This fool was already handicapped, and to make matters worse, Shino just puts bugs in them, which causes his own arms to blow up. But overall, as a fight, not much happened as well, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. Kankuro versus... Who the hell is that? Wait, what fight is this? I don't even fucking remember this fight. No, not Sakun. Who the fuck is this? Versus Tsurugi? Who the f... What? I don't even remember this that much, to be honest. Oh yeah, that's when he pretends to be the... Oh yeah, okay. He used the puppet to pretend to be himself. You know, it's a decent little fight, but I'm gonna have to put it in C tier as well. Damn near D tier almost. Next up, Temari versus Tenten. I'm pretty sure she destroyed her in no less than 30 seconds, so just because of that, it goes into C tier. Shikamaru versus that one girl. So I think this is when Shikamaru makes her hit her own head on the wall. Pretty decent fight. Shikamaru used his brain a lot, so a pretty decent fight. I'm gonna have to put it in C tier though. I don't think it's in the level of these over here. Naruto, Tsunade, and Jiraiya versus Kabuto and Orochimaru. This fight, it was pretty long, not gonna lie, but it had a lot of action though. Naruto catching Kabuto with the Rasengan, Tsunade putting work on Orochimaru, repeatedly grabbing his tongue and just hitting the hell out of him. We are literally seeing the three Sannin fight for the first time at this point in the series. We see their summons as well, and that's pretty badass. A large scale battle like this, I think it deserves solid A tier. You could make an argument for C, but if I'm being honest, I would have to put it in A. There you guys have it. This is my personal list of the Naruto Part 1 fights. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree or anything you would change to this list. This was my first time doing a tier list, and this was pretty fun, not gonna lie. So if you guys want to see a Naruto Shippuden tier list next, like this video, let me know you guys really want to see it. But yeah, man, it's been your boy Stoic Sabio. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe. And I'm out. Peace.